Hello, and welcome back to the Babalian Money Show. Ever dreamed of leaving the 9-to-5 grind behind long before your hair turns gray? What if I told you that retiring in your 30s or 40s isn't just a fantasy, but a real possibility for many? Today, we're diving deep into a movement that's making this dream a reality for thousands. FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap on how you might be able to achieve it too. But before we get into the exciting stuff, a quick disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The information shared here is based on my own research and experience. Please always do your own research and consider consulting with a certified financial professional before making any major financial decisions. Your financial situation is unique, and what works for one person might not work for you. All right, let's get started. So, what exactly is FIRE? At its core, FIRE is a lifestyle movement centered around aggressive saving and investing with the goal of achieving financial independence much earlier than the traditional retirement age. Financial independence means you have enough income from your investments to cover your living expenses without having to work a traditional job. The retire early part is the exciting consequence of achieving that independence. You might be thinking, that sounds great, but is it even possible? The short answer is yes, but it requires discipline, strategy, and a significant shift in your mindset about money. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about playing the long game, but on a much accelerated timeline. The movement has a few different flavors, which is great, because it allows you to tailor the approach to your own lifestyle goals. First, there's Lean FIRE. This is for the minimalists. People pursuing Lean FIRE aim to live on a very modest budget, often less than $40,000 a year in retirement. They achieve this by cutting expenses to the bone, living frugally, and saving a massive portion of their income. It's an extreme approach, but it can get you to the finish line incredibly fast. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Fat FIRE. This is for those who want to retire early without sacrificing a comfortable or even luxurious lifestyle. People in the Fat FIRE camp aim for a much larger nest egg, allowing them to spend significantly more in retirement, say $100,000 a year or more. This obviously requires a much higher income, a massive savings rate, or incredible investment returns. And then there's a happy medium called Barista FIRE, or sometimes Coast FIRE. This is a really interesting hybrid approach. With Barista FIRE, you save enough to cover most of your expenses. But you might still work a part-time job you enjoy, like being a barista, to cover the rest and maybe get health insurance benefits. It is less about quitting work entirely and more about leaving a stressful career for something more flexible and enjoyable. Coast FIRE is similar, where you vest saved enough that your investments will grow to a full retirement fund by age 65 without any more contributions. This frees you up to take lower-paying jobs you're passionate about, just to cover current living expenses. So, how do you actually do it? What's the secret sauce? The entire FIRE movement is built on a simple but powerful mathematical principle, the 4% rule. This rule, based on a famous study called the Trinity Study, suggests that you can safely withdraw 4% of your initial investment portfolio each year, adjusting for inflation, with a very high probability of your money lasting for at least 30 years and often much longer. To figure out your FIRE number, the amount you need to have invested to retire, you just flip that rule on its head. Take your desired annual spending in retirement and multiply it by 25. That's your target. For example, if you want to live on $40,000 a year, your FIRE number is $40,000 times 25, which equals $1 million. If you want a more comfortable $80,000 a year, you'll need $2 million invested. It's that simple. Your goal is to reach that number as quickly as humanly possible. Now we get to the how. There are 3 main levers you can pull to accelerate your journey to FIRE: earning more, spending less, and investing wisely. Let's break them down. First, spending less. This is arguably the most important pillar of the FIRE movement, especially when you're starting out. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar you can invest. And even better, cutting your expenses permanently reduces the total amount of money you'll need to save for retirement. Remember the FIRE number calculation. It's based on your annual spending. If you can learn to live happily on less, you're hitting your goal from two sides. You're saving more, and the finish line gets closer. This is where you need to get serious about budgeting. Track every single penny. Identify your big three expenses, which for most people are housing, transportation, and food. Making significant cuts here will have a much bigger impact than skipping your daily latte. Could you live in a smaller place or in a lower cost of living area? Could you get by with one car or even no car by using public transit or a bike? Can you cook more meals at home instead of eating out? These are the big win changes that can drastically increase your savings rate. The goal for many in the FIRE community is to save 50%, 60%, or even 70% of their after-tax income. Yes, you heard that right. It's aggressive, but that's how you retire in your 30s. The second lever is earning more. While frugality is powerful, there's a limit to how much you can cut. But there's theoretically no limit to how much you can earn. Increasing your income is like pouring gasoline on your FIRE journey. This could mean negotiating a raise at your current job, switching to a higher-paying company or industry, or developing new skills that are in high demand. But where it gets really interesting is creating multiple streams of income. This is a cornerstone for many FIRE adherents. Start a side hustle. This could be anything from freelance writing, graphic design, or consulting in your field, to starting an Etsy shop, driving for a rideshare service, or renting out a spare room. Every extra dollar you earn from a side hustle can go directly towards your investments, supercharging your progress without having to cut further into your daily lifestyle. The more you earn, the faster you can hit that savings rate of 50% or more. The third and final lever is investing wisely. You can't save your way to financial independence. Your money has to work for you. Stuffing cash under your mattress or even in a high-yield savings account won't cut it, because inflation will eat away at its value over time. The goal is to grow your money faster than inflation. The preferred investment vehicle for the vast majority of the FIRE community is low-cost, broad market index funds, or ETFs. Think of funds that track the entire S&P 500 or the total stock market. Why? Because they are simple, diversified, and have historically provided solid returns over the long term, around 8 to 10% annually on average. By investing in a fund like VTSAX or VTI, you instantly own a tiny piece of thousands of companies. This diversification reduces your risk compared to picking individual stocks. The strategy here is not to time the market or get fancy. It's to invest consistently, month after month, year after year, no matter what the market is doing. This is called dollar cost averaging. You set up automatic investments and just let them run. It's a boring strategy, and that's why it works. It removes emotion from the equation and lets the power of compound interest do its magic. Compound interest is what makes your money grow exponentially over time, and the earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. So, let's put it all together. The path to FIRE is a simple 3-step process. It's simple, but it's not easy. It requires a fundamental change in how you view work, money, and life. It's about trading a few years of intense focus and sacrifice for decades of freedom. Freedom to travel, to pursue hobbies, to spend time with family, to work on projects you're passionate about, or to do nothing at all. It's about buying back your time, which is your most valuable asset. Is FIRE for everyone? Absolutely not. The high savings rate can feel restrictive for some, and not everyone wants to retire in the traditional sense. But the principles of FIRE living below your means, avoiding debt, and investing for the long term are solid financial advice for anyone, regardless of whether you want to retire at 35 or 65. The journey to financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint, but the FIRE movement shows us how to run that marathon at a much faster pace. It is about taking control of your financial destiny and designing a life you truly want to live. What do you think? Does the FIRE movement sound exciting or completely crazy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful and want to learn more about taking control of your money, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow and ensures you won't miss our future videos. Thanks so much for watching the Babalian Money Show, and I'll see you in the next one.